Hey everybody, welcome in to Sports Live in the 215. I, of course, am your host, Connor Okuda, here to discuss the Philadelphia Phillies' current road trip, which they are unfortunately 3-4. Now, I already recapped the Phillies split with the Mets in London, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, I already have a video about it posted on our Sports Live in the 215 YouTube channel. So go check there if you want that information. But for today, we'll just discuss the Boston the Red Sox series and the first two games of this Phillies Orioles potential World Series preview. The first game in Boston was highlighted by two men specifically. One, Mr. Kyle Babe Ruth Schwarber. He I want to say he was 2 for 4 with two solo bombs. It was absolutely electric. In the first game of that series, Wheeler goes 7, and I want to Wheeler goes 7. Strom gets the 8th, and Alvarado had a really nice 9th inning. He had a really good bounce back from his blown save in London, so that's always good to see. Like your big time bullpen piece really kind of shutting the door and locking down a win for the fellas. Now we get to game 2, and Christopher Sanchez, he just was not sharp. The Red Sox really hit him hard. I want to say he gave up 7 or 8 hits. I forget how much over 4+ innings, and they had a 5-run a 5-run fifth. Yeah, he just wasn't sharp. He wasn't able to locate his fastball, his fastball slider, or his changeup. And normally, with a crafty pitcher like Christopher, he's usually very spot on. So that was very concerning and very abnormal. And I know he'll bounce back in his next start. So then the series is tied 1-1. You're thinking, all right, we won the game with Wheeler. Now we have our other ace on the mound, Aaron Nola, and yeah, Nola didn't have it. I want to say he only went 4 innings, allowed 8 runs, all of which were earned. He just was not. He was not the Aaron Nola that Phillies fans have come to know and love this season. His curveball was flatter than a it it was it, it was it was flatter than a it yeah it was it was I'll just say it was it was flatter than um it was flatter than a flat line at the hospital. It it was flatter than a flat line in the emergency room. Yeah, it just did not move anywhere. Um, he just was not very good, and yeah, the Phillies ended up losing the game 9-3. It was really unfortunate, but the boys packed up and then headed to Baltimore. And on the first pitch of the game Friday night, what does Mr. Schwarber do? Bang! uh, Home run into the freaking. I want to say it was near the warehouse in Camden Yards. I mean, like first at bat of the game. That's always a good way to kind of start it off, and then and then the the Orioles Orioles kept fighting back, and then the Phillies. I want to say they got a run in the fourth to make it 2-1, and then the Orioles got a um an, a single to make it 2-2, and then in the actually let me look it up. I'll just check that out. Um, let me find. Here we go. Found it. Scroll down here. Da-da-da-da. Okay. Okay, so the Phillies got a run in the first. The Orioles responded with a run in the third, and then the Phillies got a run in the in the in the fifth to make it 3-2, and in the eighth inning, Phillies brought in Matt Strom, and then Anthony Santander. I'm not really sure how you say his name. He homered on a pitch that was at the letters of his jersey, and it was a really good pitch by Strom. It was just better hitting by Anthony Santander, Anthony Santander, and the Orioles tied it up, and then in the so that I want to say that made it a 2-2 game, and then the Phillies got a run in the 10th, followed by the Orioles getting a run, and then just before the start of the 11th inning, the rain fell in Baltimore, so Mother Nature decided to intervene on this game that was worthy of all the hype that went into it. And the rain delay ended up lasting an hour and 11 minutes. And then in the top of the 11th, Alec Bohm hit a double, and then I want to say Bryson Stott singled, and then Sir Anthony came in and kind of shut the door. So it's good to see him kind of continue his upward trajectory, because last season and early this year he was really struggling. He was really struggling, and there were so many people kind of calling for his job, saying he was terrible, all this stuff, when now it seems like Sir Anthony's finally starting to gain a lot more confidence in himself and in his stuff. So he's really pitching well. It's really good to see. And then we were able to take a 1-0 lead in the series, and then today today the Phillies scored in the first 2 innings. Edmundo Sosa hit a home run in the second inning. And then the Orioles, let me check that. The Orioles got 1 in the third, and then 1 in the sixth to tie up the game 2-2. And then they got 3 in the eighth, and then our old friend Craig Kimbrell, unfortunately, he shut it down for the Orioles. So that ended up as a 6-2 win. Let me actually make sure the Phillies got 1, and then second one, Orioles answered with a picket fence in the third and fourth, which, for those that don't know, a picket fence is 1 run and in consecutive innings. And then they got another run in the 6th inning, and then 3 in the bottom of the 8th. And Craig Kimbrell nailed down the save. Grayson Rodriguez was really good for the Orioles. He went 7 innings, only allowing the 2 runs. He was great. And the Orioles bullpen, um, was solid. Kimbrel, he threw first pitch strikes, and then he was just effectively wild. The Phillies just weren't very disciplined at the plate against their former teammate. So yeah, that was very disappointing and unfortunate to see. Speaking of someone who wasn't who didn't have an unfortunate performance, Taiwan Walker. He went 5 2/3, only allowed 3 runs. I thought he was great. Gregory Soto was solid. I want to say Dominguez Dominguez got the 7th. He was great, and then I'm forgetting who pitched who pitched the bottom of the 8th. Oh, it was Jose Ruiz. Yeah, he just unfortunately didn't have it today. He's a good reliever, and of course I just think he'll be fine. And yeah, we'll get the Orioles tomorrow. We have a matchup of the 2 pitchers who finished number 1 and number 2 in Cy Young Award voting for the 2021 season. Corbin Burns for the Orioles and Zach Wheeler for your Philadelphia Phillies. That matchup should be it should be a dandy. I see both pitchers being really just on their games, and they're gonna show why they are the aces of these 2 staffs for a reason. I feel like either one could have a perfect game, and it's gonna be exciting tomorrow. I was telling my mom, I was telling my mom on Friday night that I could either see these games being like 9-8 or like 2-1. And so far, I mean, with the exception of the 8th inning today, like they've been really, really close and just neck and neck. So it's it's gonna be a really exciting rubber game, and I personally can't wait for it. I almost wish this game was moved or was like flexed to Sunday night. I don't think MLB flexes their games. It unless of course there's rain in the area, but yeah, if they did, I could definitely see them flexing this game to Sunday night because you have a premium pitching matchup. The number 2 and 3 teams record wise in the major leagues. So it's a matchup with 2 of the best teams, two of probably the best pitchers in baseball. Yeah, like there's talent on both these teams, just like out the wazoo. Both these teams are just dripping with depth, talent, and they have great starters, good bullpens, great offenses. So this the rest of this series is going to be a fun one. I look forward to it. I know every Phillies fan is, and I know all my buddies who are Orioles fans are looking forward to this one too. And I'm excited to see how it ends. All right. With that being said, um, go Phillies. Oh my gosh. Before I let you go, I will have another pod that should be going up tomorrow recapping the rubber game of the Phillies Orioles series. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Go Phils.